Welcome back to another Forensic Friday. On today's episode of American DA Live, host Jack Patty, Assistant Commonwealth Attorneys Dan Laren and Andrea Mattingly Williams, along with Lt VanBrackel, will discuss the second half of House Bill 463. Stay tuned to learn more.
So Jack's got the day off. Ray Larson is off purchasing hair care products or something, we're not sure. So we, apparently they sent over the A-team from his office, and we welcome back to the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to sneak that up on you.
That's all right.
Dan Laren and Andrea Mattingly Williams from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. Welcome back, both of you.
Good morning.
They are experienced on this show with Jack. And we bring in a rookie for today, Police Lieutenant Lt VanBrackel. We hear you on the news, but it's nice to meet you face to face and have you on the show.
Thank you, sir.
We are going to, I get the note, it says you're talking about House Bill 463, the drug law.
Well,
That's the entire extent of my background on this issue. Now I know that you were here last week, Dan, when you and Andrea both were, when Jack and Ray started talking about this. So let's start out by just recapping what this law is, what it does, what it doesn't do, and where we're going today.
House Bill 463 changes the drug laws. It went into effect on June 8th of this year, and it changes some of the punishments for drug laws, which we talked about last week. And it changes the penalties and punishments for the drug laws. But it also changes police arresting power and bond for persons charged with crimes. So I think that's mainly what we're going to focus on today, the changes that it does to the bond and to the police power to arrest.
And for that, do you have anything to add, Dan?
I do.
Okay.
Lieutenant VanBrackel and I met back in 1999. We had a robbery case. It was when he was just new on the force and on the street. And so that's how we met, under fire, I guess you could say. Lieutenant VanBrackel is a graduate of the Wittenberg University, and he has a law degree from the University of Dayton School of Law. He's a member of the Ohio and Kentucky Bar Associations. Also, he's an officer in the Naval Reserve. He's been promoted since he was on the street when I met him all those years ago. He is a lieutenant in the police department where he's been since 1998. He's currently signed to the Bureau of Patrol. He has a lot of training responsibilities. He also works with the Collision Reconstruction Unit and the Honor Guard. And I think that's all pretty impressive, and I brought him here to explain to you and to your audience what changes in the law, how they affect the ability of our officers on the street to deal with the problems that they face every day.
All right. Lieutenant, where do you want to start?
Well, I think one of the biggest changes that was made, originally the revised statutes used to say a police officer may make an arrest or issue a citation for a misdemeanor that occurs in our presence, and that was left to the discretion of the officer. One of the things that House Bill 463 did is it changed that may to a shall, and it now says I shall issue a citation unless one of a few options has occurred. So it's limited the authority of police on the street to make arrests and pushed us more toward issuing citations in most of the occurrences we deal with. So one of the things that Mr. Larson wanted to talk about today was those times when I used to be able to arrest somebody, and now I'm going to hand them a citation and send them on their way, and the effects that's going to have on the public.
Okay. How is the word decriminalization not appropriate here?
Well, technically, a crime is still charged, but you hit it right on the head. Instead of being put in handcuffs, searched, and taken to the jail, people that are committing offenses like the main statistical Part 1 crime we had here in Lexington, stealing from a car. Instead of being arrested and taken to the detention center, they will be given a piece of paper and told to come to court 2, 3, 4 weeks later.
And Lieutenant VanBrackel, talk about, when we're specifically talking about like breaking into cars, how is that going to affect the police in solving crime and solving particularly people breaking into cars if you can't arrest them right there on the spot?
Well, for example, later on tonight you're at home, you go to lock the front door, make sure it's locked on the way to bed. You look outside, your dome light's on in the car. You say, well, why is that? Look a little bit closer, somebody's in your car. So you grab the phone, you call 911. This guy's breaking into my car right now. Luckily, I'm close, and I get there and catch the guy a block away from your house with your GPS in his hand. On June 7th, I would arrest him, search him, because I've now arrested him, take him up to headquarters and interview him, and in a lot of cases like this, find out he's also broken into 20 other cars. And he would confess to that, tell us where the cars are, where he's pawned those items. Now after June 8th, same situation. You might be standing right there saying, yes, officer, that's the one that was in my car. I'm going to hand you back your GPS, your case number for the report that I've taken, hand him a citation for stealing your GPS, and send him walking down the street.
Send him on his way to the next car.
Yes, sir.
To learn more, tune in every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on News Talk 590.